Graph theory is a very interesting branch of mathematics. So today we will see introductory part of graph theory. So we have to study what are the basic concepts of graph theory. So we start with the definition of graph. Many of you know graphs. So you have studied graphs in school. But those graphs are different from the graphs that we want to study now. Now graph is basically a structure which contains two sets V, that is non-empty set of vertices, and E, set of edges. So the V set must be non-empty and the set E can be empty set. Now I will draw one structure here so that you can understand what is the meaning of graph. Now, the set V contains vertices. What are vertices? Vertices are also called as nodes and these are denoted by small letters. Now, in this structure, we join some of the vertices by line segments. All these line segments are called as edges and all the edges will constitute a set, namely E. So, I will draw one graph here. I am drawing here some small circles. So all these circles are considered as vertices. Generally, these vertices are denoted by small letters like A, B, C, D, E, P, Q, R, S or V1, V2, V1, V3 like that. So suppose this is my vertex V1, this is V2, this is V3, V4, V5, V6 and V7. So there are in all 7 vertices in this graph. We call this graph as capital G. We denote graphs generally by capital letters like G, H, etc. Now you can join some of the vertices by line segments. These line segments are called as edges. So in this way you can construct many graphs. So I am joining here V1 and V2, these two vertices, V2, V3, V3, V4, V4, V5, V5, V6, V6, V7, V1, V7. It is not necessary that you have to join any two vertices by line segment. You can join any two vertices by line segment, then that line segment is nothing but edge of that graph. Now I will draw some more edges here. V2, V6, V1, V5. Now see, we give names to edges also. V1, V2, I will call this edge as E1. This is E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8 and E9. So if you give the names to edges like E1, E2, E3, immediately you can say that how many edges are there in the graph. So my last number is E9. That means there are in all 9 edges. And how many vertices are there in the graph? 7 vertices. So in this way, by drawing at least one vertex and edges, you can draw graph. So this is my graph G with vertex set capital V equal to V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. And what is the edge set of this graph? E equal to E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8 and E9. So this is one graph that we have seen. Now see, by definition of graph, vertex set must be non-empty. That means to draw the graph, we must need at least one vertex. But edge set can be empty set. Now see, there are different edges, that is E1 to E9. Now every edge has either one end vertex or two end vertices. See here, E1 joins or connects two vertices, namely V1 and V2. So what are the end vertices of E1 here? One is V1 and another is V2. Same way, if you observe E3 joins or connects V3 and V4. So for E3, the end vertices are V3 and V4. Same way for E9, the end vertices are V2 and V6. Now see, here I have not given directions to any of the edges. So this graph is nothing but undirected graph. So if I want to write the edge E1, I can write this as unordered pair V1, V2 by specifying its end vertices. Now instead of writing V1, V2, if I write V2, V1, then that is also correct because here no direction for V1 towards V2 or V2 towards V1. Same way I can write E2 as either V2, V3 or V3, V2. So every edge is associated with one or two end vertices. Now see, what is the meaning of adjacent vertices? So whenever there is some edge joining the two vertices U and V, means U and V are end vertices of that edge, then we say that the two vertices U and V are adjacent vertices. See here, E1 joins V1 and V2. So V1 and V2 are adjacent vertices or neighbors of each other. Same way, see E4. E4 connects V4 and V5. So V4 and V5 are end vertices of E4. That means V4 and V5 are neighbors or adjacent vertices. Same way, when E1 connects V1 and V2, we say that E1 is incident on V1 and E1 is incident on V2. See one more part. Here if you observe E5, E5 connects V5 and V6. So V5 and V6 are adjacent vertices and E5 is incident on V5, E5 is incident on V6. Now similar to adjacent vertices, there is concept of adjacent edges. See what is the meaning of adjacent edges. So if you observe here E4 and E5, now E4 has end vertices V4 and V5. E5 has end vertices V5 and V6. So one of the end vertex V5 is common. So here E4 and E5, these edges are adjacent edges. It means the two edges E and A are adjacent edges if they have common adjacent vertex. See here E2 and E3. Now E2 and E3, one of the end vertex V3 is common. So E2 and E3 are adjacent edges. Now see the next concept. The next concept is loop and parallel edges. Now see what is the meaning of loop. If you consider, see this part. Now I will say this edge as E10. Now for E10, it starts at V2 and ends at V2. That means for E10, both the end vertices are same. So whenever both the end vertices of an edge are same, then that edge is called as a loop. So in this case, the edge E10 is called as a loop or self loop. Now see, what is the meaning of parallel edges? If you consider two or more edges having same end vertices, then those edges are called as parallel edges. Now in this graph, there are no parallel edges. Now I construct parallel edges here. Now I will draw one more edge joining V3 and V4. Now I call this edge as E11. Now see the two edges E3 and E11. Here the end vertices of E3 are V3 and V4. E11 has end vertices V3 and V4. That means the two edges E3 and E11 have same end vertices. So E3 and E11 are parallel edges. Now, if I draw one more edge here, say E12 joining V3 and V4, then again I can say that E3, E11 and E12 are parallel edges because they have same end vertices. Now, considering the concept of self-loop and parallel edges, there is a concept of simple graph. See, what is the meaning of simple graph? So, if the graph does not contain self loops as well as parallel edges, then it is called as a simple graph. Means simple graph neither contains loop nor parallel edges. So if any graph contains either loop or parallel edges, then that graph is called as a non-simple graph. Now see this graph G. It contains E10 as a loop and E3, E11 and E12 as parallel edges. So this graph G is a non-simple graph. Now I will draw some more structures here and then we check whether that graphs are simple or non-simple. Now while drawing graph, you have to take at least one vertex and either 0, 1, 2 or any number of edges. But every edge is associated with either 1 or 2 end vertices. That means edge cannot exist without end vertices. So remember that part. So this is one graph. We call this graph as G1. Now I will modify this graph and I will call that graph as G2. And one more graph, say G3. Suppose this is E1, E2, E3, E4. E1, E2, E3, E4. This is E5. E1, E2, E3, E4. Then the loop here is E5. So this is E6. Now see the graph G1, it contains 4 vertices A, B, C, D and 4 edges E1, E2, E3, E4. But if you observe, there are no loops and no parallel edges. So graph G1 is a simple graph. Now see graph G2. Now there is one loop, say E5, because both the end vertices of E5 are same, namely C. So I can say that graph G2 is not a simple graph. That means it is non-simple graph. Now what about G3? If you observe, G3 contains E5 as a self loop, at the same time E4 and E6 as parallel edges. Means G3 contains both loops as well as parallel edges. So G3 graph is also a non-simple graph. So considering loops and parallel edges, here we have defined simple graph. Now next time we have to see what are the different types of graphs. So we will see it next time. Thank you.